Hey traders, and this free recap video, we're going to talk about the energy markets because we've been pretty active in energies over the past few weeks, actually really the past few months. And when I say energies, I mean crude, I'm talking about heating oil, we're talking about gas or the RBOB contract, and also the heating oil and natty gas market. So heating oil, natural gas, crude oil, unleaded. And when you look at these four, one of the first questions is, do they track together? You know, are they tracking? What's the sensitivity? And I'll tell you this, the big story right now is a giant buildup that we just saw in the EIA numbers. One of our favorite trades in the room every week is that Wednesday EIA release, because what that does is typically push price movement on the upper end of its hourly price movement. And when that range gets tested to the downside, we end up testing the low. That's oftentimes where, and in fact, that's been a big part of the trade that we've been taking to the upside, is that's where we buy. I mean, over and over and over again, the long positions that we have built in this market have been specifically on Wednesday in reaction to the EIA. And for those folks who are asking me, Rag, is this Saudi Arabia? No, gang, this is EIA. This is absolutely EIA, because the Saudi Arabia story has been playing out slowly over the last few days. And regardless of just, you know, what that narrative has been, and it's not been a pleasant one, crude is not trading. And by the way, I think the idea that crude would trade lower because U.S.-Saudi relations are worse, I think it's completely nonsense, because if U.S.-Saudi relations are worse, wouldn't that send crude higher? Because Saudi Arabia is our number 3 crude oil provider. So I think that's kind of a funny way to look at it. I think, if anything, that should have been a catalyst for movement to the upside. Nonetheless, it's truly been a catalyst for very little. But in the connective thread of things, heating oil is connected to crude because heating oil is a product that uses crude to be created, right? It's a refined product. And that means, you know, my concern was, can we hold the support of the trade that we've had on? And we actually have. This is great news. This has been a good trade to us so far, and it's holding its support regardless of the crude oil weakness. This is the trade that we've had on. Okay? And the closer we can get to that 29.65, which we were able to get before, in fact, the closer you could even get to the stop loss. You know, one of the things I teach the traders is, once you know your stop loss, you know exactly where your potential entries can be. Because anything above the stop is a viable entry. Just the further away you get above the stop, the higher your risk. So this has been intact. A lot of people have been asking me about gas, the RBOB contract. It's been choppy and we've avoided it. And then finally, this natural gas. Natural gas is unconnected. And it's been very good to us. We actually just took a trade in natural gas that initiated on the 480-minute time frame. And we're looking to do it again. So probably by tomorrow, maybe even by tonight in the premium video, we'll look at where we could build a position in natural gas. In the chat room, I mentioned to the members, you can look at a test of the 32%, what we call the rare air. So really a 3.1955, a 3.195 really is fine. 1955 is fine. But that would be a reasonable entry. And it also would be pressing the validity of the uptrend. And it also would be respecting what an exhaustive level to the downside would be for today. And by the way, today we had our inventories, our EIA numbers for natty gas. We had the inventory numbers today. Hence some of the volatility we've seen. And I like the overall uptrend in natural gas. We've been looking for that since the U.S. and Mexico trade agreement has been, now we have UMSCA likely to be, approved in November. But this is the kind of move in natty gas that we've been waiting for pretty much all year, as we waited for the NAFTA shenanigans to be settled all year. So long natty gas is a trade that I continue to like. It is not connected to crude. So if you want to play energies and a good bullish narrative and fundamentals, I think natty gas is it, and it's not going to be connected to the volatility we're seeing right now in crude, but I feel pretty good because heating oil is holding its own. So you might want to shift your bullish emphasis to natural gas and heating oil. I'll see you in the next update.